Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litza and today's our podcast number 96. It's Thursday the 8th of August 2024. How awesome is that, guys? We've made it to how many months? 8. So what's that, about 3/4 through the year? And we've been hanging out together each and every week, catching up on what we've all been up to. Now, as always, I have some of your amazing makes to showcase, and I'll just show you some of the things that I've been up to during the week, and we'll just have a little chat at the end as well. Who knows what we're going to chat about, but always something about life. And I always enjoy reading what you've been up to in the comments. So please make sure that if you have the time, just to leave a little comment so we can all enjoy it as well. Now, as always, and for a very long time, we've been starting off with Tile of the Week Thursday. Now, as we know, let me just pop my clipboard and marker down. As we know, there is no longer any more tiles to make because we made as many as we could from this book here, 100 crochet tiles. I started at tile number 25, got all the way through to 100, but in the interim I missed a couple, so I had about 70 to play with. Now, this is all thanks to our friend Sam over at Manford's Makes, who invited us along to watch what she was creating, and then we all jumped on board as well. Now, in the process, I had decided that I was going to make a blanket using all the tiles. And those of you that have been here for a long time know that, it has been fun creating those tiles, but my dilemma right now is how to piece them all together because they haven't all been the same size. But you know what? I'm having a good go of it, a good crack as I say, and I think I've managed to put together a few more this week to show you that actually look aesthetically pleasing. Now, for all of my tiles, I had a collection of 7 different colors that I used, so you'll see all the tiles feature a combination of those colors. White was also in there, and I'm using this color, the white, to join them with, and a 5mm hook. Now, I used this Marvel 8-ply or DK weight acrylic yarn for the whole entire blanket. So it's going to feel the same, which I absolutely love. So the thickness of the blanket throughout will be pretty much the same, except for the 4 tiles. So one of them is mine, one is Josephine's, one is Sam's, and one is Mike's. So there will be a little bit of a variety in the middle for those of you who have just joined us of late. So when you see those giant tiles in the middle, it's just the family getting together. That's how I view it. So let me show you what I've done since last week. Now, they're the 4 tiles that I'm talking about in the middle. And then last week you had seen that I had put these together, but I hadn't actually sewn them onto the blanket. So what do you think, guys? I have said that I'm going to, how does that look? I'm not going to overthink it because if I do, it's going to take forever. When I say overthink, have I put too much purple here or is there too much yellow there? But at this stage, I think that it's starting to look quite pretty. And as I said last week, I had forgotten how many very, very pretty tiles we had made along the journey because, 100 tiles is a very long time, 1 per week. So that's where we're up to this week. So we're getting there. I'm hoping by next week I can actually join these tiles here, this section, and possibly underneath as well. So I am endeavoring to put together around 60 tiles that are all different size squares, and let's see how we go. But so far so good. I must say that when you get started you want to keep going, but what stops me is when I feel that there's a gap there and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? But I'm not letting it overwhelm me, and I am making sure that I get a little bit done each week. So basically the time I would have allowed to make a tile or a square, I'm dedicating to putting some together now. So maybe, fingers and toes crossed, by the end of the year, it might actually be finished. And I would like to do a little border around it. So how wonderful would that be if I actually finish this project in its entirety? I would be very, very happy and satisfied with that. Now, as you know, we all love seeing what everyone else has been up to, so it's time to showcase your makes. And as always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to send them through to me so that we can all ooh and ah over what you've been up to. And we all know we're going to add some of these to our crochet to-do list. So without any further ado, let's get started. So our friend Thea, as always, has been very, very busy. And she's made some baby blanket. And you will see here featured quite a few appliques. and some of them she had made for our Cal 2024. So how wonderful is that she got to use them. Now these are all the chevron pattern blanket, and she's made them beach themed. How beautiful are they? And Thea does say that she can't believe that this stitch had, you know, sort of tricked her for a while, but now she's definitely mastered it, and she's so very, very happy with it. Look at those little appliques. Now they're the little turtles. Yes, they're the little turtles that Thea had created with hoping that one day she'd put them on a little baby blanket, which she has done so. And look at this one here. Oh my goodness, look at all of these under the sea little creatures. There's a crab, another turtle, a fish, a starfish, and is that an octopus? Yes. And what beautiful colors for the blanket to represent the water and the sand and the waves. Absolutely gorgeous. Now the yarn that Thea used was predominantly mill ends. So here's one of the beautiful, like the blue that features in there and the white. And the under the sea appliques, Thea tells us, are from Repeat Crafter Me. So how wonderful is that? They are absolutely gorgeous. I imagine two very, very special little people will be receiving those soon. Now, next we have our friend Kim. She has sent in quite a few makes, so thank you, Kim. Now look at this gorgeous shawl, guys. Look at those beautiful colors in there. Now this shawl, the yarn that Kim used is from Yarn Smiths, and it's a merino sock yarn, which is a 4-ply. So it's very, very thin. I imagine it's got an amazing drape, that shawl. And then she's made this beautiful book cover. Excuse me. Love that color blue. It's absolutely beautiful. Like it's like a royal blue, but a little bit lighter. It's absolutely stunning. So this book cover, the yarn is Toft yarn, and it's a DK or 8-ply. And we've also got a little photo with a book inside it. How cool is that? And wait till you see this little cutie patootie here. This is a little baby hat, and the yarn uses a James C. Brett yarn, and it's a DK or 8-ply yarn as well. It looks like a nice creamy color, doesn't it? So thank you so very, very much, Kim, for sending them through. It's nice to see you've been keeping yourself busy. Now, our friend Gloria, she has sent in some beautiful Christmas makes. Excuse me, guys, a little frog in my throat. So this one here is a another wave blanket. So this is called the Lazy Wave Blanket by Yarnspirations. And the yarn used is Mary Maxim Starlet Sparkle yarn. Now, those colours scream Christmas at us, don't they? And look at it up close. You can actually see the sparkle in the yarn. Absolutely gorgeous. And look at these very, very pretty and festive coasters. Now these coasters are a Mary Maxim kit, and they're called the Sweet Mint coasters. And again, it's the Mary Maxim Starlet yarn. Now, Gloria tells us that in the very near future, so around Christmas time, she will be opening possibly like an Etsy shop or something similar. And when she does, I'll let you know all the details so we can go and visit her. So thank you, Gloria, for sending them in through to us. You're starting your collection already. Amazing. Now, wait till you see this gorgeous set here. So our friend Liza, she crocheted the Peach Blossom Pamper set. Look at the stitching in that, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. And the pattern is from the Crochet Now magazine, issue number 108. And the yarn is the Novita Tennessee, and it's a 100% cotton yarn. And Liza used a 4mm clover hook. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much, Liza, for sending them through to us. As always, you've been keeping yourself busy with your crochet. Now, I myself have kept myself a little bit busy, but I've called this week my week of crocheting for the soul. I don't know about you, but I think most of us will experience this. There comes a time when we just think that we want to create something that just brings us just joy, pure joy, and we don't want to crochet for any other reason. And that joy might be something for yourself, something as a gift, something to donate. And at this stage, this week, I just thought to myself, I need a reset, because we all get caught up in such a busy life, and we make promises to do this and promises to do that. People ask us, and we always say yes because we want to. I know that I've got a few friends, their friends have asked me to make a few pieces of amigurumi for their children. And I just had to take a breath. There are so many cows that I'm involved in, which I absolutely love. I myself have put forward more, another cow. But I just needed a week to say, it's time to breathe, time to reset, and I need to just crochet for the soul. And that's what I've done, guys. Now, in doing that, I knew for me to fulfill that in my soul, that joy that I just needed and craved. And I believe I've nearly done. I think by the end of the week, I'll be able to say I've reset and I'm ready to go full bore again. Knew I needed to crochet with blanket yarn, and I knew I needed to crochet a beanie, because they're two things that bring me total joy. So I've done that. So let me show you what I've created, and look at me smiling. It's just been wonderful, and I'm so happy that I took this opportunity and gave myself permission to do this. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this gorgeous cushion. Now the insert is very, very special to me, because it was my mum's from when I was just a young child. So back in the 70s and 80s, and I'm guessing maybe through the 90s, but definitely all those decades ago, the insert was sitting with a cover on my mum's lounge where we spend many moments as young children. But I've made this beautiful, beautiful cushion cover, and I'll talk to you about the pattern in a moment. And I've put these beautiful wooden butterfly buttons on there, because they bring me so much joy as well. And again, just blanket yarn. I have heaps in millions, and I thought this was a nice color combination. It just said, use me please. And I also use my 8mm hook. Now, the pattern that I used is from our lovely friend. Let me show it to you up close. But I extended it to cover the cushion, so the square actually goes to here. So that is from a YouTube tutorial from our friend Jenny over at In Our Spare Time. And she put out her Chunky Sunburst Granny tutorial not long ago. And when I saw that, I just knew I had to somehow incorporate it in my life. And here it is right here, guys, as a beautiful, soft, squishy cushion that brings me so much comfort and joy. So thank you, Jenny, for putting out that tutorial. It was absolutely gorgeous to follow and just crocheting along with you. Now, because I use blanket yarn, I did modify it slightly. With the puff stitches here, instead of 7 loops on my hook, I had 5 in the end. And with this stitch here, this little treble cluster, this is all US terminology, guys, I did 3 trebles instead of 4. Only because of the chunky yarn, like the bulky blanket yarn, it was just getting too chunky in there, or too busy or too full, and you weren't really appreciating the design. So thank you so much for that. This one is wonderful, and I'm going to add it to my cushion collection, because I have quite a nice collection at the moment. I can't wait to spread them all out on my lounge. And I just love the variety in there. I don't think I have 2 cushions that are the same. So that's that one. And then I knew I had to make a beanie, because you all know how much I love to make a beanie or 2 or 3. And the beanie that I knew I had to make was the one that our friend Jennifer at Cinnamon Stitches created for our friend Sam over at Manfors Makes. And it's the Manfor hat. And let me tell you, this took me less than 2 hours while I was sitting in bed, when I just decided one night that this is going to be what brings me that joy. So here it is, guys. Now, anyone that knows our friend Sam knows that her favourite colour in the whole wide world is pink. I wish I had a sparkle pink. I didn't think of it at the time, and I'm sure she wouldn't have minded some rainbow. But Sam, this is your hat. And Jennifer, thank you for putting out such an awesome tutorial. Let me tell you, guys, I have never created or crocheted a hat that starts off as a pentagon, and I just said, let's trust in the process. Jennifer has never let us down before, and let me tell you, this was no different. Now, Jennifer does say to go down as far as you need to. I didn't make it as long as hers, because I did use a slightly bigger hook. I used my Spot Saver USA style 10-ply yarn, which is 100% acrylic. I am going to make this again using the 5.5mm hook. I used a 6, and I am going to try it with like a variegated or a different type yarn. But this is absolutely gorgeous, and what I love is that it uses granny clusters and V stitches. I absolutely love those stitches. And of course, along the way, there is some chaining and some other stitches as well. But again, following along, listening, to Jennifer talk, it was just so beautiful creating this. And I'm going to pop it on my head a bit later on to show you how it fits. And that was something else that just filled that void, just that little piece of joy that I needed in my soul this week. And it was absolutely perfect. So every time I wear it, I'll be thinking of them both. And then I remember about a week or so ago, our friend Michelle over at Michelle's Makery, she had put out a video letting us know about a very special event that happens in New Zealand at the end of September, which is all about mental health awareness, and they celebrate that by giving out fidget toys to a lot of their community. I've got a fluff here, guys. And at the time I thought I must get on to, letting Michelle know that I will make some fidget toys for her. But I never got around to that. And then it just dawned on me this week that is something that I really wanted to contribute to. And of course, I had to look up some YouTube tutorials to help me along the way. And I'll show you the ones that I made. I've always wanted to make one of these, guys. It's called a Mobius. And if you're not familiar with it, it's one of those like toys, fidget spinners, not spinners, but fidget toys that just never, ever, ever, ever ends. You can do this for hours. And it's ideal for people with anxiety or ADHD or just a little bit of nervousness. It calms you. And I absolutely love these. Now, the YouTube tutorial that I used, and I made a few of them, guys, and these literally took 20 minutes each to make. And you just use your scraps. And again, these ones I made using my blanket yarn. And I will show you one that I made using a different yarn, which I know that I preferred this yarn for them because it's so much smoother and so much softer. And of course I used an 8mm hook. Now I've jumped because I was going to tell you that the YouTube tutorial that I used is by Hooked for Life with Mary Beth Temple. And again, another beautiful video to watch. It's only about 8 minutes long and she does a wonderful job of explaining it to us. Now in the tutorial, she uses, I believe, worsted weight acrylic yarn. And then I thought I might try them with this yarn here, this chain spun yarn that I have. It's actually a very nice yarn and I did use a 6.5mm hook for it, because I didn't want it to be too tight. And this was the end result. Again, it serves its purpose, like it does the job, but I don't know. I don't feel that it's as smooth. It's a little bit more stiffer. So I think for the purpose of, what it's intended to be, a soothing toy or, something to fidget with, definitely the blanket yarn is so much better. And our friend Jenny over at In My Spare Time Crochet, she actually makes them out of blanket yarn as well. So I remember seeing her doing that. That's why I gravitated to this, and I totally agree. They are a much nicer feel. And I didn't make them very big at all. So even a little person or a big person, they will be just the right size, I feel. So I just wanted to also say that, Mary's tutorial was wonderful, and thank you for putting that out for us. Now, the other thing that I made, and again, a big shout out to our friend Jenny over In My Spare Time. And if you guys haven't visited her, you really, really need to do so. She is awesome. Now, I wanted to also make some marble fidget spinners. And guess what? It just so happens that yesterday, Jenny did that for us. She put out a tutorial. So please go and visit her and see how to make them so quick and easy. Now, in here lives a marble. And that's what you do. You just push it up and down for as long as you need to. You can just hold it. Nobody will even know it's in your hand. You can pop it in your bag or your pocket, and it's always there in case you need it or have someone in your life that might just need to hold on to it for a little while. So as I said, Jenny has put out the tutorial for the marble fidget spinner. Now in her tutorial, she recommends you use a cotton or a cotton acrylic blend, which I did do. This is the Flinders Cotton 8 ply. I didn't want to change colors because I actually came home this afternoon and made it. specifically for tonight because I wanted to trial it out. And I also used, which again is what Jenny recommends, a 3.5mm hook, because as you can imagine, you need to have it nice and tight so the marble doesn't pop through. And I did manage to purchase, and these are mine here that I've already opened, a very inexpensive pack, $2.50 in fact, for 20, is it 22 marbles? Yes, but one of them is those big, are they called bungers? No, I'm not sure. But I remember playing marbles in the playground as a child, so it brought back so many wonderful memories as well. So again, a very quick and easy project. I'm not sure if I mentioned, the Mobius took me about 20 minutes, because when you've done it once, you memorize the pattern. It's very, very simple. Even though it looks like a scrunchie, you don't make it like a scrunchie, guys. Believe me. Oh, similar, but it's not a scrunchie. And this one took me about 40 minutes. Not that it's difficult to make, not at all. And the tutorial was wonderful. Again, it was so nice to follow along with Jenny. Although I have to say, you're so much faster at crocheting than me. But because it's all single crochet, it does take a little bit longer. But in saying that, I really enjoyed making them. So they would be something that you could make just watching TV or, you know, listening to an audio book or something like that, because you don't have to concentrate as long as you don't drop a stitch, guys. Very important. I like to use my stitch markers for that. So that's what I have been crocheting. And I have to say that I feel that my little hole in there that was missing, that little bit of, you know, soul searching crochet joy, it's been filled again. So the other thing I want to say that brought me a lot of joy is that so many of you contributed or made suggestions for a name for our little platypus. Now our friend Pearl, she very cheekily suggested Pearl, and guess what? I totally agreed with her. Thought it was fabulous. And look at this little row of pearls that our platypus Pearl is wearing. So she will forever be known as Pearl the platypus, and here she is in all her glory. So thank you guys for, you know, helping us out, but we've landed with Pearl. I just thought that was brilliant, and I was like, why didn't I think of that? Anyway, it's done now. So on the weekend, I went to Big W, as I do, because I always try to check out, you know, the yarn while I'm at the grocery store, which happens to be in the same shopping centre. And it's very disappointing and disheartening. I think Big W stores might be getting rid of all their yarn. I'm not sure. But while I was there, I thought I'll just go and look at the books, because I love books. I love physical books. I don't buy them anymore for reading like a novel. I now listen to them on audiobooks. It's just easier, especially with crocheting. So I just decided I'd go that way. But I still like a physical book. And I always check out the book section. And I always have a look at, like, you know, special interest, including crochet. And let me tell you, 99 out of 100 times they either have nothing or something that is not of interest, because it's usually showing you how to crochet book. But wait till you see what I found. I truly believe manifestation is real. Now, most of you, if not all of you, know that we've got our Crocheting Through the Decades Cal 2024, which started this month and is going for 4 months. And so many of you have said you'll be joining in, which is wonderful. And it's all about vintage crochet, right, guys? And look at this book. Oh my goodness. I could not believe when this book was just sitting there waiting for me to pick it up. This book was published this year. It's an Australian book, and I was so excited. I haven't even looked to see if you can buy it on Amazon or anywhere else, but I will be showing you things from this book that relate to each decade. So our very first decade is the 1950s. So I will find what the 1950s was all about in the crochet world, and I will show you that section. Oh my goodness, look, it's got toys in here as well. Let me just show you. This is amazing. I just love this book. Where were the toys? Look at that. There's a little teddy bear in there. Oh my goodness, he's just absolutely gorgeous. There's house, like furnishings and wares, cushion. How awesome is that? I sat and read this book almost from cover to cover twice. It was just amazing. A flower bonnet. Oh my goodness, I just absolutely love this book. And How amazing that he landed on my lap basically just after we were talking about our cow. I absolutely love that. So that's pretty much it, guys. So I've still got that yarn furrow by there. So annoying today, but it's all done now. So this week has flown by. I cannot believe that we are at the 8th of August. And here we are together again. It is so awesome. This weekend, Steve and I are going to be very, very busy cleaning up and tidying up the granny flat because, you know, next week the newlyweds come home and it'll be time for them to move in. So I'm very excited for that as well. Not only to hear about their fun and their adventures, but for them to start settling into their new home and their new life together, which will be awesome. I cannot wait. Other than that, like I said, guys, school, which is where I work, home, just ran away this week, but it has been a good one. I really can't complain. So I'm very, very grateful that we're here again together, catching up and just hanging out. I hope you've all been well and you've had the opportunity to maybe reset yourselves, because sometimes we just need to do that. So give yourself permission to do so, because we're always running around for everybody else and forget to give ourselves that opportunity to say, it's all about me just for a moment. So until I see you all very, very soon, take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.